into the golden era of hip-hop very briefly. And a lot of you who are introduced to hip-hop will remember this era in hip-hop. So I just want to take a little time and show them a little bit of love. You got De La Soul, Brand Nubians, Big Time, One for All, Slick Rick, and Dougie Fresh. This is when hip-hop was beautiful. I'm going to show you a bunch of images, and none of them sounded the same. There was no two groups that sounded the same at that time. They all had their own styles. As a matter of fact, you couldn't get on if you sounded like anybody else, because we already got that. We don't need you. You need to sit back, study, and find out what's missing from the equation, and then fill that void. That's the way it's supposed to be done. I'm showing this because they have become more relevant now than ever before. Once things reach a certain, listen, all right, let's say it like this. You have everything physical has a spiritual reflection. All right? So whatever's going on in the physical, you have a spiritual reflection. That's the real you, so to speak. So I'm only relevant, the more and more hip-hop goes down the drain, the more and more relevant I become. Because I'm representing the other aspect of it. I'm representing an alternative way to see hip-hop. Africa Bambaataa are moved further and further out of the stratosphere. They can never be reached by this nonsense. So the further it goes down, in one sense, on the material and nonsense, the further and further we expand on the spirit realm of it. I couldn't have came unless bullshit entered the picture. I'm just being real with you, because I would have no reason to come out and speak to the people about what's real in hip-hop, if it was where it was supposed to be. But the more and more nonsense we get, the more and more powerful I become. That's why I don't worry about them dudes at all. So understand, everything physical has a spiritual reflection. And I say that to say that these guys are now getting more work than ever before. All these groups I'm showing you now, they're still doing because people are tired of the nonsense. They want that alternative. And the true alternative is these brothers who laid out the format for you a long time ago. You yearn for real hip-hop once you keep hearing this nonsense. When you pop in your Brand Nubian CD, you be like, oh man, I just remember when hip-hop, when you fell in love with it the first time. That's why they become so relevant. And the pictures I showed you earlier from the chaos realm, that becomes further and further unreachable by those who don't understand what's really going on. So the more and more they run it in the ground, the more and more it becomes relevant of what hip-hop used to be. Does that make sense? All right. All right, listen, there was even a spot for Fresh Prince. Because his music was fun, it wasn't violent, it wasn't threatening, but he was telling stories, it was about fun, and we had a slot for that. We had it, and his DJ is off the chain. Jazzy Jeff was off the chain with hip-hop. You follow? During this time, this was beautiful, in the golden era of hip-hop. Had no problem. You can't come out sounding like him now, because you're too soft. You ain't a thug, son. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear that thug music, son. Like Professor Griff said, it need to be hug music. Nigga, you need a hug. Need to get back to some more hug music. Poor righteous teachers. All right? What's messing with that? Queen Latifah. Now, this is a picture of Dana Owens. But I couldn't find an old picture of her with the crown on her head when she was ladies first. However, we had a spot for sisters coming up, fighting for the sisters, saying, ladies first, bro. You know what I mean? Where your manners at? Did your mother teach you better than that? It's all about ladies first. And we respected that and appreciated that. Now she's Dana Owens. She's Hollywood, so I don't call her Queen Latifah no more. I call her Dana Owens. But I still got love for her, and if I see her, I'll appreciate for what she did. But we're going to talk about also how, you know how they say the past affects the future? Well, nowadays, the future is affecting the past. You have brothers like Ice-T, who came out with a song called Cop Killer, which was a powerful song. Now he play a cop. What's messing with that? He just killed that energy that he set off. Because we all related to that song, Cop Killer. It was a rock song too, so you need to puff a little herb to really get into the song. However, it had a certain energy about it. Now this nigga playing a cop on TV. Huh? Okay, we're gonna get into that too. We're gonna get into all that. Ice Cube, I say this on my last lecture, He was the most feared MC coming out of the West Coast, period. Just the look of his eyes, you know what I'm saying? He had a certain energy about him. Gangster rap, he became a revolutionary. So he was upward mobility from a gangster rapper to a revolutionary. Now he's a comedian. You can't say it no other way. He's a comedian. Friday was a comic movie. All of Fridays, are we there yet where he's playing with the kids? Comedian. That's how they transform that energy. They can take a hostile energy that's coming because you know how many people would have united behind Ice Cube? If he would have said, kill all these devils, it's time to roll on them. You know how many people would have been in the street lining up with him because they felt the same way? Now he on TV, he in Hollywood, shucking and jiving. So now he's no longer a threat. He sold out, he went for the cash. Triple X. Now when he comes back with his new album, I don't believe you now. He got a new gangster album, I don't believe you. I was believing you back then, because I saw the look in your eyes, I saw the video, I saw the movement, I saw the energy of people you was rolling with. Nigga, you Hollywood now. You gonna come out with a gangster album now? Please. I'm sorry. EPMD, strictly business. You know what I'm saying? Give it up to EPMD. They was off the hook for what they was doing, bringing that music, bringing that energy. You can't really see this, but this is the Jungle Brothers. The jungle, the brothers, the brothers. You know what I'm saying? They had the red, black, and green medallions on, you know, connecting us back to who we was originally. They was coming through with the beads on and all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah. And it automatically connected you because images, remember, when you deal with symbols, they reach you subconsciously. So you may not have know much about your history, but you knew that was for you. You just knew it. And what they was doing, because they was getting brothers off those gold ropes, even though it was a hip-hop statement, it still was a rope around your neck in gold. And remember, gold was, our blood used to be tainted with gold. So that, you know what I'm saying, showing you what's going on with that, but we still had the rope around our neck showing bondage. All right, Big Daddy King, what's messing with that? What's messing with the Big Daddy? You know what I'm saying? When he was doing it lyrically, you know what I'm saying? He just brought the style, the grace, metaphorically, untouchable, metaphorically. Spitting it, putting it down. He got out of hand when he got with Madonna. See, white people make do shit. He was butt-ass naked with Madonna in that book. That's when he started going like really, really left with it, but I still got love for him. Still got love for him, all right? All right, Kool G Rap and DJ Polo. They don't get a lot of love, but Kool G Rap lyrically will tear you a new instantly. He put it down. He was the first one who really articulated the streets, but not just giving you nonsense. He was a lyrical genius, and he told these stories and interwove all this metaphoric stuff in it. It was crazy. I thought he could have took Rakim, quiet as kept. Quiet as kept, just quiet as kept, not like this. All right, krs-one. Need I say anything more about that? He went from criminal-minded to spiritual-minded. Again, showing you forward movement and progress. And if you've ever seen his stage show, no dancers, none of that. He just comes on stage and jumps off unparalleled, untouched to this day. I just recently saw one of his shows, and it's still the most amazing thing you will ever see because he still has a love for hip-hop. So for those who are looking for real hip-hop, turn off the radio. Get out of the matrix. Unplug. Because real hip-hop is still here. They may not be moving the units because that's not what hip-hop is about anyway. Once hip-hop became a commercial entity, it killed brothers like this. Now you don't need to be the best MC or need to be creative. We're going to talk about that too. You can make the most simplistic things and sell 1 million records, 2 million records. Chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. Think about that. Now, I've had chicken noodle soup as a child, but my mother always gave me orange juice or something nutritious with it. With a soda on the side, and it came with a whole dance and the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to do the dance. However, even in that nonsense, if you pay attention, you can find something spiritual in that. Make it rain. clear it out. Make it rain, clear it out. That's what our ancestors did. We made it rain, and we cleared it out. So even the youth, I'm pretty sure she don't know that when she wrote the song. However, even in that, making it rain and clearing it out is what we did. That's what our ancestors did in them circle of dances and what we was doing. The whirling, you know what I'm saying, dances and things of that nature. They gave her a $1.7 million record deal. Whoa. Behind that song. Chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. Here this krs-one is talking about, you know, stop the violence, the whole 9 yards. You don't hear no more about him. Chicken noodle soup, she getting paid. And what does that say for the next female MC who's trying to come onto the game? They're telling you what they're looking for and what they'll pay you handsomely for. This is how you control the consciousness of the people. If I'm only paying for gangster music and I'm only paying for dumbed down lyrics and you want to get paid, you understand what you have to do. You got to come in with some dumbed down nigga lyrics. And further put your people, set your people back another 200, 300 years. We had it better during segregation when we ain't had no money than we do now on the quietest kept tip. Because the people at least was together, they fought together, they opened up their own little black businesses, we stayed amongst ourselves. Now, I don't know. I don't know. The God MC. Alright, first MC to come along and tell you he was God and had the lyrical sword, prove it. Hands down. One of my favorite of all time. Understand where he was taking his lyrics in '89. Keep staring, soon you suddenly see a star. You better follow it. He had you up in the stratosphere. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to what's going on now. This is nonsense of what's going on now, where they got the energy now. Understand where he was too far ahead of his time. Roxanne Shante, I'm showing some of the female energy, and she had all her clothes on. Take a look, her butt ain't out. She had all her clothes on, was doing her thing, delivering her messages. Salt and Pepper, this is when they got a little raunchier with it. You know, I be getting these pictures off the internet and shit half the time. But still, Salt and Pepper, you know, they was doing their thing. They had some positive information, and they took off their clothes now, but they had their clothes on. They wasn't talking about jerking their man and all that nonsense. MC Light. Light as a rock. MC Light. She just was lyrically gully. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't on some happy stuff. She was lyrically, she could hold her own in a cipher. It could be 7 brothers in a cipher, and she walk in and splatter their asses. You know what I mean? You could tell she wrote her own rhymes in the whole 9. Nobody was writing for her saying, say this like they do now. A lot of these women ain't writing their own lyrics now. Back then, she wrote everything. Public Enemy. The most important hip-hop group of all time. All right, they woke up and freed more minds out of the matrix than anybody else. And then they shut them down with the divide and conquer. Griff, Professor Griff was the vision. Chuck D was the voice. Flavor was the flavor. He was the energy. Okay? Understand, Flavor has always been a nigga. Let's keep that clear. He's always been who he is now. But we had the whole balance of the big picture, so it wasn't as effective as it is now. If you're trying to preach to people, a lot of times people shut down. But if you come to a Public Enemy show and you see Flavor Flav keeping you entertained while Chuck D is hitting you in your head and Griff is delivering them messages and got the S1Ws doing this, it played for the perfect picture. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times Chuck will get going and start talking for a half hour. And you be like, nigga, I want the music now. All right, you said your piece and you was right, Chuck, but give me the damn music again. Flavor had a different way of going about it. He was like the court gesture. And look all that melanin, look how black he is. Look all that pure black blood melanated energy that we're talking about. So, understand this, and I always say this. Those of us who carry melanin in great numbers, you become the battery for a lot of things. Like if they want a TV show to succeed, and you see that one black person in the TV show, that one black, because you know melanin is carbon, carbon is in batteries, it's the same carbon. That one black person, whether a significant or insignificant role, is the battery. Condoleezza Rice and my boy was the battery in the White House. They keep black people in strategic places because they become the battery. They become the energy source which fuels the whole thing. Think about a game, thank you. Started getting a little cold and shit. Think about a game, and a game can't run an electronic game without batteries. You become that battery. A lot of times you don't even know it. They're using you for something at work and shit. Or they got 4 white people around your desk and you in the middle and shit. You don't know why you in the middle of all these damn white people and shit. Nigga, you the battery. Trust me. Tribe Called Quest. Give it up for the tribe. You know what I'm saying? They was heavy with it too. Bonita Applebum, all the stuff they bought. And they also was showing a different aspect, love. They didn't have to be gangsters. No one was testing your manhood at this time. We was basing the way we felt about you on the music you delivered. That is it. I judge your intelligence by what comes out of your mouth. I know instantly this is a nigga, or this is somebody that's got some intelligence or has something to say. 30 seconds, you know, you talk to somebody, be like, a dude ain't got it all. Or sisters off the, how's she gonna say that? So what comes out of your mouth is the barometer we use to base your intelligence. Same thing in music. If I wanna know how intelligent or how spiritual music is, I gotta listen. I don't need to see your video with you posted up with guns and ice and 7 women. All of that's nonsense. I need to just hear your music. And the reason I also mention that is because once the video came out, all else was down the drain. So videos played an essence of killing hip-hop. Because now your imagination is no longer needed. You used to listen to a song, and the song meant something different to each and every one of us in here. Because we allowed our imagination to interpret what the words meant. What he said when he said this, what that meant. Now the video telling you what it means. Ain't no thinking involved, it's cookie cutter. The song means this. So we gotta be careful because that's mind control. Once you sync up audio with visual, that's synchronicity. It's a wrap. So, X-Clan. Woo! Vainglories. By the way, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green with the key. They the ones who brought the comedic energy into hip-hop. First brothers I seen with big-ass arms and, staffs and the beads and the rings hanging out of your nose. Not even Public Enemy was doing that. So they was showing you a real spiritual essence. They too were ahead of their time. But we had that balance. I'm showing you the essence of hip-hop that you will never see again. You will never see this again. You will never see such diversity in music ever again. So as you're watching these images, appreciate where you were spiritually at the time when this music was helping you grow up. When, your moms didn't tell you about Africa or this and that, but Public Enemy did, or the X-Clan did, or krs-one did. That's what music does. It entertains us, it educates us, it spiritually raises our vibration. That's right. That's right. So even the babies know.